I'd like to teach you how to groom people. What did he just say? Yes, you heard that right. One of the number one reasons that relationships have rifts, personal relationships, is because one person becomes extremely dissatisfied with, disillusioned with the other person. Take a marriage, take business partners, take any type of a partnership where one person feels like they're in it, one person's not, one person's getting way more, the other person's getting way less, and it's just not going great. There was a story I heard the other day of a husband and wife had been married for more than 20 years, 3 kids, and the husband completely transformed himself. He went from a sort of a comfortable Homer Simpson type beer drinking Americana type of guy to a fit and financially successful founder in a short span. It was just a couple of years, completely changing on his wife from being completely available, totally available to her at all times, to traveling on business to very important places and having extreme access to 10 out of 10 females. And the wife, who had formerly been a match to Mr. Frumpy, was not happy with the situation. She saw where this was going to be going eventually. The change was way too quick, way too much. In short order, they divorced, and you know how that probably went down for everyone involved in the situation. So, what is the lesson here? Well, the lesson is that there was too much change too quickly. That is to be sure. If you know what grooming is, it's often and almost exclusively used in a negative context. It's this idea that there's a manipulator or there's a predator who has a victim who has prey, and they're trying to slowly coerce them and manipulate them. I think of the Chancellor Palpatine character in Revenge of the Sith, how he, in Attack of the Clones and then Revenge of the Sith, groomed Anakin into being a Sith. You know that quote, first they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then they join you? It's attributed to Gandhi, but we don't know who originally said it. That's grooming. The 5 stages of grief: denial, bitterness, anger, bargaining, acceptance. That's grooming as well. Grooming is the process of change management, don't you know? It's like dominoes. It can be good or bad. Often it's used with wicked intent to harm someone, a vulnerable person, a young person. But grooming can be neutral, and it can even be positive. And it's a way of acclimating someone to great change that, if the change was sudden and without explanation or warning, would cause a permanent rift, tear, or even a destruction of the relationship almost instantly. So let's say you want to make a change in your life. Perhaps your husband is Mr. Frumpy, and you recently maybe were told by your physician that you're in your early 40s, and you, as a woman, you were told that you're uh, at risk of a cardiovascular event. It's in your family, and your numbers not looking great. By the way, you're also pre-diabetic. Your numbers are looking not so great. You should do something about that. See ya next year. So you are motivated to change. Your husband is not. I want you to groom your husband. Now, what that means is little acceptable changes. What is the minimum acceptable change that he is willing to make with you? Maybe it's a little bit extra protein for the meal. Maybe when you go shopping, you don't go, we're cutting out all cookies all at once. Think glacier persuasion, not avalanche persuasion. Slow and massive and incredible results over time. But if you're standing there watching it, yeah, this isn't moving. But come back in a bit and everything has changed. Maybe he's willing to go on an after dinner walk with you once a week. Maybe after watching the game on Sundays, he's willing to go to the park with you. What is a minimum acceptable change that he's willing to accept? And then become used to that. Go through the 5 stages of grief on that. Or even none at all. What if you can glacier persuasion your husband? What if you can groom your husband instead of sandblasting him, instead of avalanching him, instead of bulldozing him? These are sort of manipulation techniques that are used. Now, a lot of people are going to get angry that I'm using the word grooming here, and that's okay. Because that's how I want you to think of it. What is used for great evil can be used for great good. It is persuasion, and it's thinking about the other person. You ultimately want to be yourself, but you value the other person. And you don't necessarily want to be authentically yourself in a way that hurts the other person, that destroys them, or that ends the relationship because there's too much change too quickly. Well, you can groom your husband in 2025.